the times that we live in require specialization. That's my personal view, that in fiqh we need super specialization. What do I mean by that? I mean that fiqh is so complicated. Just like law or medicine that you see today, you don't have a surgeon who can operate on any part of the body, right? You'll have a neurosurgeon, a heart surgeon, and other types of surgeons. Likewise, you have lawyers who are experts in particular area. You'll have lawyers who are experts in tort law, or lawyers who are experts in criminal law, or lawyers who are expert in litigation. There's many areas of law, and each lawyer will specialize in that particular field and will only focus on that field. My personal inclination is something similar, whereby the more you read of fiqh, the more you kind of contemplate on fiqh, and the more you engage with fiqh, you begin to realize that although the law has patterns, right, the entirety of fiqh is based on patterns. The entirety of fiqh is based on principles underpinning what we read. And fiqh is very coherent. Fiqh is very coherent. Fiqh is not random. There's no randomness in anything. There's no randomness in the Quran, no randomness in the Sunnah, no randomness in fiqh. And fiqh is a produce of that, or a reflection of the Quran and Sunnah. So fiqh is an enterprise. I like to call it an enterprise because there's no randomness whatsoever in fiqh. It's very meticulous. It's very precise. It's a school. It's a system. It's been operating in a particular way for hundreds of years. And so what we have in front of us is an output of hundreds and thousands of people's labor, right, and work and effort. So fiqh is not random at all whatsoever. And so going back to my initial point, every chapter of fiqh, every bab of fiqh can be a specialism. A person can super specialize in a chapter of fiqh. That's how detailed every bab of fiqh is, every chapter of fiqh. No chapter of fiqh is simple. If we really want to understand fiqh properly and to implement it, not just to read theory, but to practice it, to kind of make it meaningful in our affairs today, to kind of guide people to relate the fiqh to people and let people relate to the fiqh, to have a dialogue between people and the books. This needs people who are specialists, because what we read in the books today and what we see today, it can seem as though there's a mismatch between what we're seeing and what we're reading. But in reality, that's not the case. But it's just that we haven't really dug deep or looked deeper and tried to understand fiqh at a deeper level. It's more or less superficial and very surface level kind of readings and understandings of fiqh without the kind of deep dive that is required to understand fiqh. So that's why I always encourage my students, encourage friends and colleagues to, those who are serious about fiqh, you specialize in an area of fiqh and excel in that area, because there's work needed in every single chapter of fiqh needs work. So whether you're a person of ibadat in tahara and salah, or a person of hayd, and you feel that this is the area you can specialize, or zakat, or saum, or hajj, all these chapters are, entire projects in and of themselves. You need a specialist on hajj today. You need a specialist on zakat today. You need a specialist on saum. Right? There's just so much you can do in that one chapter. And then, of course, there's stuff like food, halal and haram food. That's an entire field of its own. Medicine is another whole area. Medical bioethics is another whole area. Finance and mu'amalat and buyu, it's a whole other field altogether. Likewise, inheritance, mirath, udhiyah, dhabiha. There's so much. So every chapter of fiqh is precious, it's valuable, it's deep,